Good morning. How are you doing today? I don't know if you've ever experienced something that I used to call Sunday morning envy. And that's where you wake up on a Sunday morning or afternoon feeling crap, feeling really hungover, feeling debilitated, unable to really function. And that you see other people around you, either on TV or in real life, going about their day as normal and feeling kind of envious of that. And I remember this used to happen to me when things got really bad in my drinking days. With Sunday mornings, I would notice people doing really simple things like going on a family day out, like walking the dog, like going for a run, like going to the shops, like meeting someone for coffee. And I'd see people doing all of this on a Sunday morning, or a Sunday afternoon, in fact. And I just remember feeling really envious of that I felt so awful, so debilitated by my drinking that I couldn't function in the same way as all of these people who I saw getting on with their lives around me. And it's that kind of, for me, it was being really envious that those people were waking up with a fresh head, with lots of vitality and lots of energy and no anxiety, no panic, no shame, no regret, and they were just happily getting on with their day. And I used to look at these people on Sunday mornings and just feel so jealous that I couldn't do that. I used to feel like I belonged to a different species, that I kind of didn't belong to their world, that they inhabited this kind of separate world that I could never be a part of. And so this Sunday morning envy thing, I just used to find it impossible. I couldn't conceive that it was possible to wake up fresh-headed and firing on all cylinders on a Sunday, to be getting on with your day early in the morning on a Sunday. And I just used to sort of think to myself in a very victim-like way, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? Why do I have to feel this bad? And watching all of these other people going about their day feeling great. And so I used to refer to this kind of syndrome as Sunday morning envy. And I don't know whether you've ever experienced this, but I want to share with you a story, something that happened to me this weekend. And what it was on the Thursday or the Friday, my boyfriend said to me, you've got to be free from 4 o'clock on Saturday. You've got to be free Saturday afternoon, evening. So I was like, right, okay, what's going on? He wouldn't tell me. It was a surprise. He wasn't going to tell me anything about what was happening. So he'd planned this surprise for Saturday evening through to Sunday. And what it was we drove Saturday afternoon, we drove about an hour and a half to the UK coast. And he took us to a hotel. He still didn't tell me what we were going to, what was going on. Took us to a hotel, which was really nice, on the seafront. And we went for a meal in a lovely little Portuguese restaurant, which was gorgeous. And then we went to a gig. We went to a venue. And I'd guessed by this time we were going to see something, but I had no idea what it was. And it turned out it was one of my favourite bands, the Jewelers. If you're interested, if you're into old, authentic, traditional Jamaican-style ska and reggae, the Jewelers are a UK-based band, and they are absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen them yet, or you haven't come across them, check them out. They are amazing if you're into that kind of music. I've seen them a couple of times, and I knew that they were on tour in the UK at the moment, but that their tour is fully sold out. You can't get tickets for it. And so the fact that my boyfriend had taken us to this venue and that he'd managed to get tickets, a friend of his had tickets, and we met with his friends there as well. And they'd managed to get tickets from somebody who couldn't make it. This was just, for me, this was great. This was an amazing night out. This was just fantastic. And so I got to spend an amazing Saturday evening watching a band that I really, really love, dancing all night, throwing myself into it. From the minute the band got on the stage to the minute they got off the stage, I was just dancing, hands in the air, shouting, just being ridiculously uninhibited and having a great time. And this is an extra little sort of thing to add into this video, is that note to self. It is possible to enjoy yourself, dance all night, jump around madly like a loon, when you're not drinking. It is possible to do that. I used to be one of those people who thought I couldn't do that sober. I thought I could only do that when I was drunk. That drink would help me to lose my inhibitions and gaining confidence enough that I could really let myself go. So if you're in that situation, if you're believing that you can only do that you can only go out and have fun with drink in tow, then just know that it is possible to do it sober. So I enjoyed my Saturday evening sober, had a great time, danced around to the band, in fact, I had such a good time, and this is how sad I am, I had such a good time that I am still wearing my wristband as a memento, because that's how sad I am. It was such a good night. I have such good memories of it because, of course, I remember everything. And in fact, what was interesting that night as well, sorry, this is a complete tangent off the main story, but I'm just going to quickly tell you this. There was a woman who came up to myself and my boyfriend. She was very drunk. She kind of put her arms around both of us. She was hugging us towards her and she was saying, "Oh, you two, you're the coolest couple in here." And she was admiring our clothes and she was chatting to us, and then she sort of stumbled off up the corridor, and then my boyfriend had gone into the toilets, and then she came up to me and she put her arm around me again. She said, "I don't even know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going." And I gave her directions to get into the thing. And so that, to me, that was kind of really nice, because she was having a great time and she was lovely and she was drunk as anything, but she was having a great time. But I looked at her and I thought, she is going to feel terrible tomorrow morning. And I was so glad that I was no longer in that space. I was so glad that I was enjoying myself equally well, but that I was sober. And looking at her and the way she was behaving and what she was doing, she wasn't, she wasn't doing anything offensive or anything to be ashamed of, but I was just really glad I was no longer doing that. I was no longer that person. I was just really happy to be in my space, being who I was and enjoying the evening my way. So anyway, we had this great night, woke up in the morning, stayed overnight in the hotel, woke up in the morning about 7 o'clock, and we had ordered breakfast for 8:30. So because I'm now this annoyingly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed person, first thing in the morning, I woke my boyfriend up and said, "Come on, let's go for a walk along the seafront before we have breakfast." So we wrapped up. It was really cold. There was a biting wind. It was really, really fresh. In fact, we had to battle so hard against the wind. It was a really good workout, because it was like there was resistance. We were battling the wind. And so we walked up the seafront. And this is first thing Sunday morning. We're walking up the seafront and I'm seeing the world come to life around me. So I'm seeing people out going for an early morning run. I saw people out walking their dogs. I saw people kind of getting ready for a day out, packing their cars, getting into their cars and driving off for the day. I saw people on the seafront kind of opening up their cafes, getting ready to, these little shacks that you get on the seafront, serving coffees and donuts and breakfast. There was a little guy sat down there having his early morning smoke before he went into his little cafe and started getting his breakfast ready. And I'm watching the world sort of come into life around me, and I'm walking along the seafront arm in arm with my boyfriend. We're looking at things, pointing things out, having a chat about what we're seeing. And it suddenly hit me. It suddenly hit me that I was now that Sunday morning person that I used to be so envious of. I'm now getting up at the crack of dawn on Sundays. I'm seizing the day. I'm grabbing the opportunities that come my way. I'm doing whatever I want to do. Alcohol's not getting in the way. I'm going for a first thing in the morning pre-breakfast walk to work up an appetite to be able to sit down and really enjoy my breakfast. And I'm taking in everything that I see. I've got lovely, happy memories of the night before and what a great time we had. And the world is just, I'm sorry if this is really annoying, but the world is just a wonderful place to be in. And that's because I've gone for enough time without alcohol. I've lived for long enough sober that it's just become automatic. It's not even a thought process anymore. And so I had this kind of light bulb moment on the Sunday morning as I'm walking up the seafront, thinking I'm now one of those people that other people look at and think, "Oh, I wish." I wish I had that fresh head. I wish I had her energy. I wish I was able to get up first thing in the morning and go out and seize the day. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because I really want you to know, if you're not already there, if you're not already in that fresh-headed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Sunday morning space, you can do it. You can get there. I spent years thinking that was impossible for me and being envious of all those people on Sunday mornings. And I'm now one of those people. And I want to reassure you that this is possible for you too. So, I want to leave you on that positive note. And do share your experiences of Sunday mornings with me. Let me know if you've ever experienced, or maybe you're currently experiencing, that Sunday morning envy. If you want more tips, inspiration, advice, motivation on how to live your life healthily and happily sober, then you can subscribe to my channel. And by the way, thank you to all those people who are making lovely complimentary comments about my hair. Yes, it was really scary to have it all chopped off. But you know me, since when did fear get in the way of anything? But thanks again for all your comments. I really appreciate it. I will look forward to catching up with you very soon. But in the meantime, let's go get sober together.